So no change to alert levels, but some middle rows of planes can be filled. The Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern is with us. Very good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Have you been on the phone to Scott Morrison last night?
Oh, I did have a quick catch up with him last night, which I should put out. Not unusual for us. We do talk quite often.
Did you talk about the Bledisloe Cup?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that he was aware. I was just made aware last night that there were a few little rumblings around the arrangements that we had in place. Always better to get ahead of these things before they escalate, to my view, Mike. And given we had a bit of a deal, we go there, they go here, we both benefit. Thought he might want to know that there were a few discussions going on as to whether the Aussies were still going to come.
Are they?
I believe so. Look, I believe so. And there's no reason for them not to. Given the risk profile for Australians, very different to some of the teams that we were talking about as part of the SANZAAR tournament, the Director General of Health has already said, look, training can happen straight away after 3 days. Full squads at 6, pretty flexible arrangement there. And given that they'll be coming straight off the back of another competition, I imagine they'd want a few rest days anyway. So, look, quarantine shouldn't be an issue. We just want to make sure that, we go there, they go here, and it's a fair arrangement.
And so you're changing the quarantines for the Australians?
The Director General's view was that was, that was possible and that was advisable, based on the risk profile. We know Argentina's had a high number of COVID cases. South Africa, likewise, they haven't had much sports as a result. And so, yes, there were different quarantine arrangements there. They were able to train after 3 days. It was just a different arrangement around when the full squad could train by. And keeping in mind, some of those rules there would have actually protected the tournament. If you had the full squad training together and one came down with COVID, then they're all out. So I think that they were sensible arrangements. But here, risk is lower.
So that is why
those arrangements has changed as a result.
So that is why in the Rugby Championship you only went from 15 to 25 and wouldn't budge to the 40 they wanted.
So those were, that was the advice of health, but, we would need to be sensible about it. You could lose the whole tournament. It would only take one person to have COVID if you've got the full squad training together to then have them all go down because they'd all need to go into self-isolation and you could have lost the whole team. So, yes, they were health decisions, but I also think they were sensible decisions for the tournament because it wouldn't have taken much. And we already had 6 Pumas who had tested positive for COVID even pre-tournament.
And yet the Australians perfectly happy to go with it.
Yeah, they obviously just felt that it wasn't, they were obviously willing to wear that risk, and I guess they saw it as the responsibility of the teams. If they were out, they were out. But, I still think it's a bit of a gamble for the tournament. So there was more than just a health reason for thinking in that way.
So what were the SANZAAR politics?
Well, there has been a bit of SANZAAR politics of late, obviously the debate about and discussion about Super Rugby, but regardless of your theory, I still don't think that quarantine alone was the single factor there, Mike. But of course,
what was?
Commercial arrangement. Well, commercial arrangements played a part. SANZAAR themselves acknowledged that. They did say that in their view, quarantine as well, but you've heard my arguments as to why our arrangements were sensible. And look, I obviously am speculating about some other reasons. Regardless,
well, what are
they? I've just said them, Mike. But it's speculation.
So the money from where? What money are you referring to?
I was talking commercial arrangements, and also I was just in the background. Well, obviously, broadcasting arrangements, other arrangements around what money was being put on the table to support the competition. Mike, I think the major point here is regardless, our view was still that we made a good pitch. They made their call. That's for them. Now we're focusing on the Bledisloe.
You made a pitch that wasn't workable and you knew it for 3 months.
I totally disagree with that.
You started at 15, you went to 25, knowing that 25 wasn't workable, 40 was needed, you were never going to 40, and you knew that for 3 months. So it wasn't an acceptable pitch from day one.
It wasn't unworkable, though, and I've just outlined why, in our view, it would have also protected a tournament that otherwise could end up having losing a team if one person was found to have COVID.
Or it might have gone perfectly well and been a success.
Secondly, Mike, as well, I'm pretty confident that we would have had a situation where we would have, full stadiums, people enjoying the game as well. It's not given that that's going to happen across the ditch. But
they've got more people than we do.
It wasn't my call. It was the call of the SANZAAR leadership. There is some suggestion that we may not even see every team participate. We'll see. But we're focused now on making sure that we deliver a high-quality Bledisloe Cup tournament.
Did you make up the SANZAAR politics line?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And again, regardless of my theories around it, my view is still that we put up a good pitch.
So they are theories. There's nothing tangible. I just haven't heard anything tangible about Sanzar politics outside of broadcasting and possibly some money.
Yeah, of course, Mike, there is constantly politics in some of these sporting organisations, big debates going on about New Zealand's pitches around Super Rugby and so on. But regardless, I still believe that our proposals around quarantine were good. Sanzar, of course, have made a pitch that the commercial arrangements were better with the proposal that they took. That's their call. Now I'm focused on the blue to flow.